into the CHGO White Sox pregame show, coming to you live from Studio A of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. Alongside me, the full CHGO White Sox crew. That is Vinnie Duber, our CHGO White Sox beat writer. Very importantly, wearing a blue shirt, not a black shirt.
I just told you guys, I went to grab a shirt today to wear, and it was a black shirt with white writing, and I was like, if I wear this, we're gonna look like a singing trio, like a jazz trio, and so I better pick a colorful one, and so I switched.
Yeah, thankfully you have construction sky blue paper color. Yeah. The man in the middle, Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. We're being produced today by Sarah.
Hello.
Hello. And you can follow.
She's got a black t-shirt on too.
She's got a black.
I do.
I just missed the memo now.
Odd man out. We got to
Yeah.
find you a black t-shirt here somewhere.
It should be easy.
Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll have a post-game show for you today. The White Sox are taking on the Toronto Blue Jays at 2:07 p.m. Central Time because it's Victoria Day.
Happy Victoria Day.
Happy Victoria Day. She's dead. I hate to break it to you.
No, we were talking about her yesterday, right? Posh?
Yeah, but she's still dead.
Posh Spice? That's her name, right?
Victoria Beckham. Yeah.
Victoria Beckham.
That's
the holiday.
That's what they're
Yeah,
celebrating.
she's posh.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the holiday, Herb.
No. She's not dead. No.
No, Victoria Beckham's not dead, but this person that we're celebrating in Canada is apparently dead. But why are they celebrating him, Sean? I know you're a big-time Canadian holiday person.
Oh, I'm a huge, big-time Canadian holiday person. Queen Victoria, who is dead and has been dead for, let me check, 123 years. That's
it, though.
Yeah, that's it, though. You know, I always thought the Queen Victoria.
Right,
Queens
yeah.
are so ancient, but no, I mean, there's still no, there's not a queen. There's a king.
Yeah.
Funny how there's not one at the same time.
I mean, I think the Camilla Parker Bowles is technically a queen.
She's the queen consort, I believe, is the title.
Because she's
I don't know why I know this.
Anyways,
broke up a good marriage.
Queen Victoria is known as the mother of the Confederation, which is funny to me because Queen Victoria is British.
Yeah.
But it's French-Canadian, like Edouard Julien and Quebec and
It's
Montreal.
just like America the United States, different parts used to be ruled by different countries.
Yep.
That part of Canada was ruled by the French. The rest of Canada was ruled by the British. And then eventually down the road, all just Canada. Yeah.
Look at these people.
I don't know anything.
They know all Canada.
I'm
the All Canada show.
When I was in college,
important.
I finally learned about Canada Day. That's a shame that it took me that long. But July 1st is Canada Day. It's like their 4th of July, only 3 days earlier.
Yeah,
and so I spent the whole day listening to the band and Neil Young while playing NHL video game and drinking Labatt's Blue.
Hell yeah.
None of Canada's favorite rock, Loverboy.
That is not Canada's favorite rock.
It is.
So what is our Victoria Day then? Because if Canada Day is 4th of July, Boxing Day's Christmas.
Well, no, Boxing Day comes after Christmas.
Day after 26th.
Yeah.
Well, it's Boxing Day.
It's another separate thing. It's not their Christmas. They also do Christmas.
That's when Canadians go up and fight kangaroos.
No, that's Australian.
Sorry.
Jesus, Herb, we're real off the rails.
So what is this most similar to? President's Day?
I don't know. It's just their own thing. It's like, hey, remember when you used to be ruled by England, kind of thing.
It's like
how fun.
We don't have those things because we got out. We're like,
right.
Bye, England. We ain't celebrating none of your stuff anymore.
We're taking you off all the money.
Right.
Yeah.
There's the Queen is still on all of Canada's money.
Yeah. If the king shows up in Canada, they got to say, hey, man, what do you got? What do you want us to do? If he comes here, we're like, hey, man, get your ass out of here, king. You ain't us anymore.
No, we're nice. We'll probably welcome him, right? No? I don't know. All right.
Ian would.
Let's talk about the Blue Jays and White Sox. Hit that thumbs up button. It's good to see Ian in the chat, our diehard Ian, hanging out with us along with Mailman Jack. Canada loves kink songs. Do they?
Victoria is a great song by the Kinks.
Oh.
And it's on an album about someone from England moving to Australia. So we're all over the place here.
But as we learned, that Victoria, not about that Victoria.
It is about that Victoria.
It is?
Mm-hmm. The Queen, yeah.
But she was dead. Ray Davies didn't meet her.
But his relatives were under her rule.
Is Victoria one we like?
One we like? What do you mean?
Is she well liked? I don't know much about the
I don't know.
the
She was the queen.
Okay. All right. Anyways.
Diana was one.
Huh?
Diana was one we liked, even though she wasn't a queen.
She wasn't a queen,
princess.
though. Yeah.
And she would have been.
Whatever. No, all right. Let's get into the game.
RP.
We have José Berríos versus Erick Fedde today. Erick Fedde, notably a perfect 4-0 with the White Sox in 2024. He's got a 2.60 ERA, a 1.06 WHIP. He's taking on José Berríos 4-3 with the Blue Jays. He's got a 282 ERA and a 105 WHIP.
Heck of a pitching matchup.
It should be one hell of a pitching matchup. And the one thing that I know is these two teams are the worst in bat speed, so they really can't hit. So it might be one hell of a pitching matchup. Are we excited for Fedde v. Berríos?
I am. And I am still flummoxed by how the Toronto Blue Jays, with the supposed power and hitting prowess that the players individually have, how poorly they do offensively. And Erick Fedde is looking for licking his chops tonight to go against that lineup, even though you wouldn't think so. You know, you see the Bo Bichette's in the lineup, and you're like, okay, this man's going to do some damage. Vlad Guerrero Jr., since his season where he was just ascending, has fallen off the table. I've picked him to be an MVP multiple times, and he has not gotten there. And the disappointment of George Springer this year and last year has been palpable. My guy, I can't believe my guy KPW is not in here. It's the KPW Bowl tonight.
He's out there celebrating Victoria Day, I'm sure.
He's working
dancing
hard
in the streets of Toronto.
Did they film that there? The Mick Jagger, David Bowie, was that filmed in Canada?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Well, Berríos has got a 3.11 ERA lifetime against the White Sox. This is a guy that we have known for a long time because he's not only been a Twin, but then, of course, I think the season that he left to become a Blue Jay is the season that we started seeing less of the Twins and more of the Blue Jays. So, good for José Berríos to get his work in. I mean, the White Sox have seemed to have some decent outings, even though the 3.11 ERA sticks out as being very, very good against a single team.
So you're saying he's going down?
I don't know. I mean, Erick Fedde has been such a consistent player for the White Sox.
Did that go over your head? Or you just like
you can't just say 311 and not have Herb reference it. Yeah.
No, I did not know that 311 song. I knew Amber.
And
the color of your energy.
Leinenkugel has an amber.
Oh, they have an amber ale?
Yeah.
They have everything.
You're gonna plug the amber ale later on?
Probably.
Let's talk more about Berríos though. Like,
I will now.
Is this a guy that can flummox the White Sox? Is this just some early career success that he had? I mean, is this a guy that the White Sox can figure out? I mean, what do we think of José Berríos?
I think he's a good pitcher, and this year you could see the results are pretty good. But yes, you said the White Sox have had success versus this pitcher in particular. Like, you kind of scoffed at me or laughed at me. It's like, hey, why are these people of the values when we do the click to pick up there? Because Andrew Benintendi has had a lot of at-bats versus this pitcher in particular, and it's done very well. He even hit a home run off of José Berríos. And so there's some people in the lineup, and also Nicky Lopez, who is batting ninth in today's order, has done very well versus José Berríos. So I think that the White Sox have individual players that can get to him and can do some damage. Now, will they? That's a different story. These guys are very inconsistent in their performances, but once you have success for somebody, it has to feel good when you're going up to that box and saying, okay, that's a familiar foe that I've put bat to ball to, and I've gotten some home runs and or some doubles off of. You could look at Nicky Lopez's career batting against him, and it's like, whoa, Nicky Lopez has like a 500 slugging percentage versus José Berríos? Where'd this come from?
Sure did see him a lot in his days as a Kansas City Royal. But listen, this is going to be all about the pitching. These two guys have been really good this year. And, Berríos, I believe, for a little bit there was like the ERA leader in the American League. He was having a really nice start. And as we've talked about, as we saw this weekend in New York, White Sox lineup hasn't been very effective against good pitchers. We saw what the Yankee guy Heel did to them on Saturday. Obviously, Carlos Rodon was able to keep them down to 2 runs yesterday. It's a bit of a gauntlet, as you mentioned, with a lot of the teams that they're going to be facing, and that means good pitching against the lineup that hasn't been very productive this year. So while things are better than they were early in the season for the White Sox, going up against a guy like Berríos today could spell trouble, just like the Blue Jays going up against, Fedde could spell trouble for them. They're a last-place team as well, albeit in a much, more highly regarded division than the White Sox are in. So this is a matchup between teams that might not excite, but I think the pitching matchup is just stellar.
Let's look at the lineup, then we'll take a break, and we'll talk about the game that is ahead. We'll also talk about Brad Keller and the news ahead of the White Sox game. Keller has been DFA'd, and he has been replaced. Dominic Leone, welcome back. reinstated off the IL. So there's the roster move there. But let's go into the lineups for today. The White Sox are throwing out a lineup with Tommy Pham leading off in center field, Andrew Vaughn batting second at first base, batting third, Gavin Sheets in right field. We'll also talk about a quote that very explicitly talks about Gavin Sheets batting third later on in the postgame show surrounding Dominic Fletcher. Batting fourth, Eloy Jimenez at DH. Batting fifth, Andrew Benintendi in left field. Batting sixth, Paul DeYoung at shortstop. Batting seventh, Corey Lee at catcher. Batting eighth, the dangerous Nicky Lopez at second base. And batting ninth, Danny Mendick playing third base for Toronto. The White Sox, or the lineup is David Schneider leading off at second base, Danny Jansen batting second and playing catcher, batting third, Vlad Guerrero Jr. at first base, batting fourth, Bo Bichette at shortstop, batting fifth, Justin Turner at DH. Batting, what?
That's a great name to say, Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette.
The most fearsome bounty hunter in the galaxy.
It also sounds like Shaka Khan. Bo Bichette. I don't know, maybe not. George Springer batting sixth in right field, batting seventh, Dalton Varsho in left field, batting eighth, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in third base, and batting ninth, Kevin Kiermaier at center field. Let's take a break. You could bring up your Amber Ale, Vinny. We could talk about all these bees that are hard at work making the beer up in Wisconsin. We'll also let you know about Prize Picks, and we'll give our predictions for the games. I do think the White Sox will hit a homer today off José Berríos. A little tease for you.
Ooh. Well, it's very nice that you mentioned the bees. It's very nice that Leinenkugels decided to provide jobs for those real Wisconsin bees.
They're hardworking.
To make their really nice, hard, and real Wisconsin honey to use in Leinenkugel's Honey Vice, which is one of the great flavors. But, of course, as you know, we love the summer shandy here at CHGO White Sox because it is summertime. And you can take a case of that wherever you might be going on one of your wonderful summertime adventures, whether that's, or maybe you're going to the lake for a picnic. Maybe you're going to the Rate for a tailgate. Maybe you're going all the way up to Wisconsin. Any of those fun outdoor activities requires some summer shandy. Go get it. They got it stacked, piled high at the Jewel for you to just select from. But, of course, there's the Honey Vice. There's the Berry Vice. As you know, Herb, never going to give you up. And then there's the great Liney's Original, which you can get north of the border like Herb did when he went to Beertown. Obviously, it's all good. There's Amber. There's Amber as well.
Yeah.
Beertown. Does that sound like a name of a liquor store?
Yeah, I missed that exit.
Usually a long line to get off at Beertown. But guys, flavor life simple moments with Leinenkugels, the official craft beer of the Chicago White Sox. Go to Liney.com/CHGO to find delivery options near you. That's LEINIE.com/CHGO, or pick up Leinenkugels pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Leinenkugels, flavor the moment. Celebrate responsibly. The Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, Chippewa Falls.
Yes. And we also want to let you know about our friends over at Prize Picks. They're the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and they're the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers, and instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You might say to yourself, but Sean, I don't have the Prize Pick app. I don't have a code to enter to get a $100 deposit match. Well, you do. Go download the app today. Use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100, and use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. I'm going to give you an entry. You can go and look and play around and make your own entry, but the best part about Prize Picks is you can make an entry and submit an entry in less than 60 seconds. So with the game coming up in about, 14 minutes, if my math is correctly, you have the time to submit 14 entries, maybe 13 to download the app. But I got one entry for you, our guy Erick Fedde. He's been very good, but I don't know if he's going to have the strikeout numbers today. I'm going to go less on 4.5 strikeouts for Erick Fedde, and then in the Miami-Milwaukee game, I'm going less on Ryan Weathers strikeouts. So these are both strikeouts props, less than on both 4.5 for Fedde and Ryan Weathers.
That's David Weathers' son. Did you know that, Herb?
I did.
Yeah.
Is that made up?
No, that's a real thing.
He had like a 15-year career as a reliever.
Okay.
Yeah, and Ryan was drafted first round, and he's been not good.
That's
why you're going less then.
There's Ryan Weather thoughts. Well, it was more because Milwaukee's really good. I think Milwaukee's a slept-on team.
They crush the ball.
They crush the ball. And usually when you crush the ball, you strike out a lot. But I don't know, Milwaukee's going to walk that fine line. But you have the last name Weathers. You think you just immediately become a weather man.
They usually go with more puns, Sunny day.
Yeah.
Amy Freeze.
The one from Modern Family.
One,
Rain or Shine.
Oh, rain or shine. Yeah. Jim Storm. All right, download the app today.
It's a real person.
Download the app today and use code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Herb, I know you scoffed at me by saying that I'm going to take Gavin Sheets against José Berríos because he doesn't have all these great career lineups against him. But in the click-to-pick game, do we have a Discord member that's playing with us this week?
We do.
Who is it?
It is. Let me find it up. Let me look it up, brother.
Well, last week it was our guy Stephen Gall, right?
Yeah, and he lost. I won last week because yesterday's Corey Jokes. Yeah,
Corey. You jumped me?
You did not pick Corey Jokes.
Pick Corey Jokes?
I literally
did not pick
I literally
Corey
picked
Jokes.
Corey Jokes. I put it down in this actual thing.
1049.
Did?
Yes. Corey Jokes. You guys don't pay attention to me.
I thought you would I thought you would have made more. We did a post game show yesterday. You didn't even bring it up. You didn't take your victory lap.
Wow, you came from behind.
It really doesn't.
I did not expect
it. Really
Corey.
doesn't matter because I knew I won. When you know you won inside, you don't need to brag out there. But B Dadams or B Dams 92 is our guy who's going to be joining us, and he went with Aloy, who has got 2 points assigned to his name. I went with even a better player. A guy I think Sean knows, Andrew Benintendi. He is assigned 4 points today. Why so low? Why so low for Andrew Benintendi? Because he crushes José Berríos.
He's also the subject of today's CHGO White Sox Weekly newsletter, which
nice plug.
Diehards can get sent to their inbox every Monday.
He's slashing 345, 424, and 586 for José Berríos in 33 plate appearances. So he crushes him. So I'm going with him. Who are you going with, Sean?
I'm going with Gavin Sheets because there's that video online of Gavin Sheets crushing a homer off of our guy, José Berríos.
I was at that game.
You were?
Yeah, it was the second half of a doubleheader, the 7-inning doubleheaders where we used to have get back to him, and it was a walk-off. He's assigned 6 points because of his lack of success. Even though he slugs them pretty well, he only hits 245 against José Berríos in his career. And Vinny,
you're giving me the chance to pick between Andrew Benintendi, who has less points, or Gavin Sheets. I will take Gavin Sheets. Come on. Do you know me?
Yeah, and Vinny, you're
also,
going with...
since I'm sorry to cut you off. I just need to...
Sean has more to say.
Since 2022, in 2023, Andrew Benintendi has 1 hit against your guy, Berríos. So, again, it's all you got to look at those Andrew Benintendis with different rose-colored glasses because you got to take out all the years where he's been bad.
Past his prologue.
You got to take out the years that he was good.
So he was like on flame before that.
Oh, yeah.
He was just murdering him. Now he's cooled down to a cool 3 4
1 for 2, 2 for 5, 1 for 5. A year where he's 5 for 9.
Hits. Hey, man.
He had a double, a triple, and a homer.
Hits all the time. I think, Vinny, you're going with Corey Lee, right?
I am going with Corey Lee. Coming into this weekend, at least, he was against the Yankees. I'm not quite sure how it's all shaken out since, but he was tied with Tommy Pham as the best hitter on the White Sox. And you're giving him to me today for 7 points. So I'm going to go try and rack up a nice big lead.
All-star Corey Lee. I think it's going to happen.
Fedde's doing really well right now.
2 All-Stars in the White Sox?
Also, Crochet's doing really well, too.
Crochet's doing really well. He throws hard. That's usually
strikeouts. A lot of strikeouts. Excited. That's something people like.
That's true. I don't know. There's a lot of season left, though. I mean, you got to get from May to July. We're not seeing Corey Lee a ton. We're seeing him in spurts, right? They don't want to overwhelm him. They want him to continue to build on his work.
Correct.
If he's not getting overwhelmed, he's probably going to be pretty whelmed. And I think he's gonna go out there and handle the assignment. I don't know. I think Corey Lee's gonna be an all-star. That's what I feel, but I could be wrong. As we can all be. Anyways, let's predict. Who do you guys like today? Do you think the Sox get a win? What are we talking about on the postgame?
I'll take the Blue Jays. I think Berríos probably does very well, and I will say that the White Sox lose by a score of 4-1.
I think the White Sox are going to win this game by the score of 3-2. Fedde continues his streak of not being beat by the Blue Jays or losing this year at all.
I will go with the White Sox winning because Erick Fedde is on the bump, and I think the White Sox win 2-1.
You said that he has a streak of not being beaten by the Blue Jays?
He
pitched for the Nationals. How many times has he pitched against them?
He's won 2 games.
So twice.
He's lost 0.
I mean,
it is a streak. You're not wrong.
He's pitched 3 times.
Wow.
14 innings pitched.
He's got no decision in there?
He has.
So, we should go more boxing stats. It should be 2-0-1.
versus them. When he was bad, he was dominating the Blue Jays.
Yeah. So
I think the White Sox win 3-1.
All right, let's go.
Sarah's on the board.
Similar ballpark to me, too. So we're going to see a low-scoring game. Take the under. Take the White Sox at plus 170 on the money line. Hit that thumbs up button. We're going to wrap this show up. We'll be back after the game to do a post-game show. We'll also guess if people are or aren't Canadian. So there we go. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him at Vinnie Duber. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him at Ecknerwall23. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. You can follow the show at CHGO_White Sox. Thank you to Sarah for producing the show. Talk to you after the game. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.